stick interview, and today I'm interviewing Jacob Moody. You just saw his tour of the museum and saw all the incredible archaeology artifacts that we have in our museum, and Jacob was at that time the assistant curator, and he is now finishing up his PhD, working on his dissertation. But in his day job, I guess, or early morning jobs as it tends to be when you're here on the Tell, because we get up so early, about 4 o'clock, Jacob is here on the Tell. And Jacob, tell us a little bit about how you got interested in archaeology.
Well, my path to archaeology was kind of unexpected. I have a very deep love for the Bible, and I decided in my undergraduate degree to switch from physiology and developmental biology to ancient Near Eastern studies with a New Testament Greek focus.
That's quite a switch.
It was kind of a moment where I thought I wanted to be a doctor, and after going through the pre-med program and all the organic chemistry and everything else, I kind of had a moment, and my wife and I sat down and were talking and praying about it, and realized that wasn't the path God wanted us to go down.
Not for you.
Nope. And I felt I wanted to teach. I wanted to be a teacher, and I said, well, what do I love? Well, if I was going to teach, what would I want to teach? I want to teach the Bible.
Yeah.
And they had this program for ancient Near Eastern studies and with a biblical focus, and that's what I decided to pursue. And after doing that for about 2 years, I was looking for an excuse to come to the Holy Land and to see Israel, to see Jordan, to do something over here. And one of my professors suggested, why not volunteer for an archaeological dig?
So now, have you been on a lot of archaeological digs?
I have excavated 5 different locations, and I've been doing it every summer since 2007. It's now 2018, 12 years, 14 different excavations total, 14 seasons over
14 seasons. Well, give us an idea of some of the places where you've excavated.
Well, that very first dig I went on as a volunteer was at Tel Asafi Gath, the hometown of Goliath, over in Israel, and I went not knowing a thing about archaeology, and within the first week of doing it, I was completely hooked.
Yeah.
And I said, this is real. People get to do this. This is a job, a career. I said, sign me up. This is. I knew instantly that's what I wanted to do. And so I dug there for 3 seasons, and then I started my graduate work at Andrews University, and there I was able to come to Jordan and dig with Andrews there at Tel Jalul. Also, with Andrews University, I was able to participate in Israel at Tel Gezer, and over in Sicily at San Michele. And this past summer, I was also at Tel Shiloh over in Israel as well.
In Shiloh, wow.
And now at Kirbet Safra with Andrews University.
Well, that's quite a lot of experience. Now, when you are as a curator, you have to know a lot about everything. How do you prepare for something like that? How do you know about all these artifacts? Have you always known this? Or?
And I will be honest, when I first started working at the museum, I knew very little. I mean, I had 3-4 seasons of excavation under my belt, but I was still learning, and so you have to learn, and the best way is through field experience. And when you're participating on a dig, there's multiple areas that are being excavated, and even if the objects aren't coming out of your field, you get to see them. You get to see what other people are finding. You get to learn, okay, that's a loom weight. Okay, that's a spindle whorl. Okay, that's a cultic shrine. This is what a flint blade looks like. This is what a bronze blade looks like. This is what a duckbill early bronze axe blade looks like versus an Iron Age. You learn all those things just through experience. You just got to do it. Yep, participation.
You are starting a new field here, and here at Safra. And have you found anything interesting? I mean, gave us a nice tour of all the artifacts in the museum, but did you find anything here?
We found what looks to be like an incense stand. It was broken, but we found more than 60% of it, and it wasn't very tall. It was maybe, 10 inches tall and maybe 4 inches round, but it was found in the corner of Dorian Alexander's square. He was the square supervisor, and in a nice little ash area, so it was being used. They were burning stuff with it, and a beautiful little religious artifact. So I'm excited for next season to dig the other side of this one and try to learn more, because we don't really yet know what's going on. There's definitely a room there. There was occupation going on, and there's a massive wall as part of that room. So who knows? Maybe this was a little shrine, a part of just inside the city. We're at a potential gate location. It could have been just inside the gate. That was common, that they had shrines just inside gates. People going in and out of the city could pause to worship.
So this is actually the gate or the gate area, and that's very common for there to be sort of religious shrines and things like that.
Yes, you look at like Tel Dan,
Yeah.
and right when you go inside Dan, right inside the gate, they've got a paved courtyard with a couple standing stones, and there was an incense altar found right inside there. That's just one side off the top of my head I can think of.
Tell beside it as well.
Yes.
You have the very famous one that's beside as you come up to the gate. So now you're actually holding something rather interesting here in your hand. You've been sort of involved in this for some time. Tell us what it is and what is this for?
This is one piece. It's called the rover of our GPS unit, and there's a base stationed off over here, and those two units, as well as the satellites that are flying overhead, the base stays in one location and the rover together, they tell us exactly where we are at any given point, exactly how high above sea level, and then the exact longitude and latitude or northern and eastern coordinates down to the centimeter, or even millimeter. And that helps us record in our data a three-dimensional map, if you will, of where every object is found, where every surface is located, where every stone, where every wall is in relation to everything else.
Now I just heard it ping at me. Why did it ping?
Well, as you move it, it gets out of sync with the base and the satellites, and you have to then hold still and let it recalibrate itself, and then you'll get an accurate measurement. But you can't just go running around with it gallivanting all over the place.
Yes.
It won't be accurate.
Well, it's a sensitive piece of equipment. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Jacob. I appreciate you spending the time to talk to us here. Remember, you need to make sure that you are reading your assignments. It's due next week, and this will be on your quiz, so I hope you are paying attention. I'll see you in the next interview from Tel Safi.
Kirbit Safra.
Kirbit Safra. I keep saying Safi.
That's my fault. I dug there.
Confused, but he dug at Safi, so it's okay. It's Gat. This is not Gat. This is in Jordan. All right, we'll talk to you later.